So first of all, on Saturday you faced Barry Town. Unfortunately, you suffered a late defeat to end your 17-game unbeaten streak. How has that affected the team this week?
Well, listen, losing any game of football is always going to impact everybody's thoughts, everybody's emotions, especially on Saturday evening and over the weekend. But this week's a new week, and we have a 10-day gap in between that game and TNS. So sometimes you want to get a game and as early as possible to try and put right the wrongs from the weekend. But unfortunately, we haven't got that opportunity. So we're working really hard in training this week. We had a brilliant session on Tuesday. As it stands right now, we've got another session Thursday and another session on Saturday as well. So between that, obviously, our lads who are full-time and part of the hybrid programme, they'll be training twice between that as well. So they'll get 4 extra contacts. We're just raring to go. We want to try and get back onto the pitches when we can. Barry was one that hurt because of the timing of the goal again. And it's something that, like I said, we're going to try and put right when we face TNS on Tuesday.
The goals have started to dry up a bit for your team of late. How do you get those attacking players firing again going into this TNS game?
I think you can overthink it, really. I think, we've scored so many goals this year where we're the second highest goal scoring team in the league behind TNS, which we should be, by the way, because of TNS's firepower and the forward players they possess. So I think you can overthink it. I think you can look at it a bit too much. I think people try a little bit too hard. I think people shoot when they shouldn't. So I think it's just getting back to basics, really, and getting the players hitting the back of the net in training and making sure that confidence starts to flow again. I'm not concerned by us not scoring a goal in a couple of games. Of course, I would like to have, but we can keep ourselves defensively strong as well. We'll get to where we need to be. So, yeah, I'm sure all the lads are willing and desperate to score goals, but we can't think too much into that.
And you faced TNS obviously this Tuesday night, a team you beat brilliantly back on New Year's Eve. Yeah. How do you go into this game, and what challenges can you expect from them?
I think in regards to TNS, obviously it's clear that they can win the league on Tuesday night. So I'm sure they're going to be firing on all cylinders, and they're definitely going to be hurting from the last time we played them. Everybody made a bigger thing of it than what it was. Like I said in my interview straight after the game, it was just 3 points, and you have to always try and follow wins up with more wins. So TNS are on a brilliant run themselves. They've got a cup final this weekend, and I'm sure if they're successful in the cup final this weekend, all their focus is going to try and be winning 2 trophies in the space of 4 days. And knowing Craig as I do, they'll be right up for the game. In regards to ourselves, there's no bigger challenges there. There's no bigger way to try and put things right in regards to the questions you just asked me. And playing against TNS will impact that. And we've got to try and put on a positive performance because we've got our ambitions that we want to try and reach as soon as possible also.
And you touched on it briefly earlier. Obviously, you're a hybrid model. How does that affect preparation going into a game like this with training?
I think like any game really, our hybrid program's done fantastically well this year, and you see the number of games that our hybrid players have played in, and especially probably Callum West, Max Woodcock, Marco Fragapane, Abdi Sharif. They're massively playing parts of games that at the start of the season nobody really would have known who they were apart from Max. So yeah, massive kudos has to go to Jack really, because he does so much work with them that people won't ever see, and even our part-time players don't see the work that Jack does with them lads, and analysis, perspective, individual work, making sure they're working on things that we've spoke about previously in regards to hitting the back of the net or being defensively solid. So it doesn't impact our working week. We're used to it now. It is a different model, and it's a different model to the rest of the league. TNS are lucky that they've got every single player, every single staff member full time. We're fortunate that we've got to be able to utilise Jack in regards to his coaching, and the hybrid players are really fortunate to work with him too. So I think that model is something that we've worked on this year. It has to try and grow and get better. But from preparation perspective, it'll just be like it has been for all the other 25 games that we've played so far this year.
Yeah, and just lastly, obviously TNS are the only full-time team in the league this season. How impressed have you been the way in which your team has pushed them far this season?
Yeah, I think Penabon pushed them last year. We were the ones who have pushed them this year up to a certain point, but it's so difficult, and it's my first year in management. It's so difficult of trying to push them, and you don't realise when you're a player, but when you're actually managing and you're coaching against them and you see the level of quality that they possess. I think there's question marks every single year. Is the league getting stronger? Is the league getting not weaker? There's no doubt that TNS have got stronger this year, and obviously if they're to win the remainder of their games, they're going to beat last year's points tally, and I'm sure that's what Craig will look at. So I'm really proud of what the lads have done so far, but like I've said earlier, our objectives aren't finished yet, and we've got to fully focus on that over our next 6 league games.
John, thank you for your time.